I promise you, there is nothing lucky about luck. Luck is not random. Luck is not something given to a select group of people where God just puts everyone's name in a hat and pulls it out and is like, these people. No, that's not a thing, honey. Luck is the result of certain patterns that some people have figured out. I wouldn't call myself the luckiest girl in the world, but I'd say I'm pretty damn close, okay? I've been able to get and have a life that I'm just really satisfied and happy with. But here's the thing. I've noticed periods where I seem to feel luckier. I'm definitely doing certain things. And in other periods where I feel like everything just is not going my way, I'm the complete opposite. I've also observed people that I know and do not know and how they seem to be luckier. Of course, I don't know everything about these people's lives, but people who seem to have continual wins and just seem to have things work out in their favor, I'm taking notes. And I've collected that data for you today. But in my humble opinion, I think luck is kind of an illusion and that we have way more power than we think we do to actually become luckier in our day-to-day. And I think there's small things you can do and obviously bigger things you can do, but I think it would be like a fun experiment if we take what's in this video and just try it out, because what's the worst that can happen? I think you're going to see luckier things happen for you after you watch this. Real quick though, before we get into that, hi, I'm Bria and this is the Because I Love You podcast. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to start with today's unfriendly reminder. If you watch Love Island, raise your hand real quick. Okay, I just need to see who's out there who gets me. No, I'm obsessed with Love Island. I actually have no personality outside of Love Island. It's fine. This is what I do with my time. I haven't been able to watch like long form content in the longest time because my attention span is that of a hamster, but I'm glued. I am sat for Love Island, okay? And today's unfriendly reminder is inspired by my favorite person in the cast, and that is Miss Amaya Papaya, okay? Do we have any Amaya Papaya stands? Because that is my girl, okay? Amaya Papaya to the end, okay? I will use my platform to get her to that 100K. Anyways, my reminder for you guys is to utilize your emotions. Do not filter yourself for anybody. Cry it out more. Okay. I've been really inspired by watching her and I know everybody like loves, she's just so cute and quirky, the things Amaya says, but no, truly, I've been inspired by her because this girl cries on every episode and it's like low-key funny, but it's also low-key like has me thinking how vulnerable she is, single and vulnerable. No, truly I'm just really in awe of how authentic she is. And I think that's why people love her. She's so likable in my opinion because she does not filter her emotions. She stood on business. Okay, spoiler if you're gonna watch Love Island, but she stood on business in that episode where they did that one challenge that I hated, where everyone just kind of like said their hard truths to each other. The guys were going in on Amaya saying she's too much. She stood on business and she said, if I'm not your cup of tea, don't drink it. Yes, because here's the thing. Amaya is not too much. Amaya makes people uncomfortable who don't know how to tap into their feelings and be real. And the women clocked it. The women have clocked it. America has clocked it, and we have your back, Amaya Papaya. If you ever see this, don't change a damn thing. So anyways, I just want to remind you, channel your inner Amaya Papaya and just be a little more open and a little more vulnerable. I think we're living in a time where our emotions are just, we get criticized for our emotions. And moving forward, I think in order to have the connectedness that a lot of us are not feeling these days, we're gonna have to be a little more real and honest about how we feel. So cry more, be more honest with yourself. It starts there. Don't let people make you feel like you have to put on a brave face all the time. Just wear your emotions on your sleeve a little more than you have in the past. And that is on my girl, Amaya Papaya. Okay, now let's get into the science of luck. So what I've realized about lucky people is that they're the most consistent people in the room. You'll often look at somebody on the outside and be like, man, they're just lucky. It just worked out for them. If you really get down to the nitty-gritty details of what people actually do and how they show up on a day-to-day basis, I guarantee you, you will see within their habits something that they do more than others who are unlucky is be consistent. I'll use TikTok for example. Sure, you have people who are going to blow up overnight and be an overnight success, but being an overnight success is truly lucky. Most of the people who I'm friends with in the industry who have massive platforms did not build them overnight. A lot of the people you see today who have big brand deals and are doing amazing things, they have been chipping away at their platforms for years. Some have been in this game for over a decade, okay? I think people have to get over this instant gratification thing. We have to go against the grain and understanding that while yes, everything in today's world is becoming quicker, shorter, easier to access, it's not realistic when it comes to building long-term things. The quicker you get these things, the harder and faster you fall. So it's not necessarily something you should wish for to just get things like overnight, okay? Overnight success is a very interesting things, and maybe we need a whole video on overnight success and what it really is, but understand that luck comes to those who are consistent. And I want to give you a couple examples. So I remember with Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, something he was doing with his workouts was called like the 666 workout, where he would work out. Let me get this right. He would dedicate 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 6 months to improve his game on the off season. That was just the off season. Who knows how he was training on the on season or even before he had his break into the NBA. But I can guarantee you it is that work ethic that contributed to him being one of the greatest of all time. Now, I'm not saying you have to go obviously as hard as Kobe Bryant, but I am just making a point that with that he was giving himself the opportunity to be lucky, to be great, because he consistently showed up even when it was already in the bag for him. Do you know what I'm saying? He just never let himself get comfortable, and he kept himself sharp and still watered his strengths and his talents. Another person who I feel comes off as lucky, who she's like just now talked about this, but Addison Rae was talking about her early days in TikTok. She's one of the biggest creators on the TikTok app still today, but she was talking about how when she was growing her platform, she would post a ridiculous amount, like upwards of 8 times a day or something like that. And again, it doesn't mean all of her videos were going to be a bop in the beginning, but Addison Rae understood the window of opportunity that she had. It's like throwing darts. If you keep throwing them, you will eventually probably hit the target. The more chances you give yourself, right? It's all about how many chances you can give yourself. So whatever it is that you want to be lucky with, think about how many chances are you giving yourself? And are you showing up enough to get lucky with those opportunities? That's what you have to ask yourself, because these people who have obtained these lucky circumstances and lucky things, there was a lot of work ethic behind it that has to be acknowledged. You cannot downplay that things just fall into certain people's lap, because even if that is true, and maybe sometimes it is, it still takes doing something to maintain it, right? So it's not luck. Something else that I've noticed with lucky people is that they do not fixate on failures, and they have a way of perceiving these obstacles or challenges in a way that is positive, more optimistic. You really have to shift your mindset to see any sort of like blip in the road as something to move on from. You have to be able to move on quickly. If you're going to sit there and self-loathe and cry over a small setback, then you are going to miss out on opportunities. Because here's the thing, a setback is not a setback if that's how you define it. A setback can simply be redirection. And if you saw it in that way, you might feel and be luckier, which kind of takes me to my next point, in that lucky people are flexible. Lucky people are open. In order to be open to having these lucky things happen for you and to receive these lucky things, you have to create an openness within yourself. And how can you achieve that? Here's the thing, being set on something working out in one particular way is beyond limiting. Let's say you're an aspiring musician and you want to get your big break, but you think it's going to happen in one specific way where you have to connect with the CEO of this record company and that's how it's going to happen for you. No. What if you decided that maybe you don't know the best option? Now, I've talked about this before. Be open to the best case scenario happening for you, and be open to the idea that maybe it would surprise you and maybe you don't even know what the best case scenario is, because it's just way too good for you to fathom. Sometimes we just limit ourselves on the ways that things can happen. So when I say you have to have an openness, that means you have to have an openness to things going in a way that you didn't predict them. So say, again, something doesn't work out for you and you're looking at it as a setback. Change your perception to think of it as redirection. And in those moments, just reaffirm yourself. Something better is going to happen. If it didn't work out this way, something better is on the way, even if it feels like shit in the moment. You have to tell yourself and understand that good things can happen for you in infinite ways. If that's a rule you create for yourself, you will start to see it in your day-to-day life. The more positive rules you have for yourself, the more positivity you will see. It's quantum physics, okay? It's the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. Literally, it's in scripture. People have said this. People have given you the sauce in many different forms. It is the same thing we hear every time. And what it boils down to is that your thoughts create your reality. Your brain is the most powerful mechanism that you have on your body, and it will dictate how you see the world. So if you choose to be a negative individual, and yes, I said choose. If you choose to be a negative individual, you will see negativity in your life. If you choose to be a positive individual, positive things will show up for you more. What you go looking for, the brain will scan and look for it and look to validate you. We see it all the time right now. Look at like politics, okay? Sorry. That was definitely a downer. I shouldn't have brought up politics. But I'm just saying, like, everyone right now is so set on their truth when it comes to politics, and they will look for things to validate themselves. And it's wild sometimes to see in real time. But I'm saying utilize that in your day-to-day in a healthy way, because it's kind of this fun game you can play with yourself. Wake up being like, something good's gonna happen today, and I don't know what it is, but like I'm looking for it. I'm ready for it. And I promise you, you will see more good in your day. And you'll also go about being more good throughout your day. It's a ripple effect, because if you're in a more positive mood and you go interact with people and you spread that positivity, it's going to come back to you, because what you put out is what you get back. This episode is sponsored by Magnetic Me. Listen, if you're a new mom, you already know changing a baby who's flailing around like a WWE wrestler at 3 a.m. is not for the weak. Those early days, I was out here trying to line up tiny snaps while half asleep, just sweating in the dark like I was defusing a bomb. Then I found Magnetic Me and it was game over. Magnetic Me uses, get this, magnetic closures on all their baby clothes. No buttons, no zippers, just easy, quiet, snap and go magic. I can literally get my baby dressed while he's mid-roll. That's how fast it is. Now, changing time doesn't feel like a wrestling match. It's a 10-second outfit swap, which means we actually get out of the door faster, I get more sleep, and I have time to do little things for me again, like drink my coffee while it's still hot. I know, revolutionary. The prints they have are adorable. Their fabric, so soft, it makes you mad at everything else in your kid's closet. I love their adult PJs too, especially for nursing. I wear mine way too often and have zero shame. I've also gifted Magnetic Me to some of my friends, and it never fails. They always text me, why didn't no one tell me about this sooner? So do what I did. Upgrade your changing game. Go to magneticme.com and get 15% off your first order. That's magneticme.com. Don't wait. Your sanity and your sleep schedule will thank you. You know that friend who always forgets to Venmo you back? Yeah, we've all got one. But today we're flipping the script, because Venmo isn't just for splitting bills anymore. It's for Venmoing everything. Literally. Let me put you on to the Venmo debit card. It connects directly to your Venmo balance and lets you spend it anywhere MasterCard is accepted. So you can use Venmo for the latte in your hand, the leggings you're wearing, the couch you're currently rotting on, and even the 3 a.m. sushi order you swore you wouldn't make again. Here's what I love. I can get paid back for drinks and use the same balance for my Uber home. Sell a pair of sneakers, boom, buy a new pair. Same account, no transfers, no drama, just vibes. And according to Girl Math, when you spend using your Venmo balance, spending is a lot more enjoyable. So that latte is going to taste a lot sweeter when you pay for it with your Venmo balance. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you. And don't even get me started on the cash back. Up to 15% at spots you're already obsessed with. Like, hello, it's giving rewards without the stress of credit. Oh, and the card, it's cute.
comes in different colors, so you can pick one that actually matches your vibe, because yes, aesthetics matter. So if you're ready to Venmo your way through life, visit venmo.me/debit to learn more and sign up. Again, that's venmo.me/debit.
Lucky people are also very flexible. So again, kind of feeding into what I just said, where it's like, look at things as redirection. Also take in the account of being a more flexible individual. So what do I mean by that? If you are stuck on the same routine every single day and you do the same exact thing and there's no flexibility within this rigidness that you have in your day-to-day life, it's hard for luck to creep in, right? Because you're not being open when you have to do the same exact thing every day. Now, I'm not saying you have to change up your pattern every single day, but there are small things that you could do each day to create some flexibility, to create an opportunity to run into somebody different or run into a different opportunity. Literally as small as taking a different route home one day, as small as like, instead of going through the drive-through when you get your coffee, go inside and like interact with people. Look for small ways that you can be a little more flexible, okay, and have a little more fun. I think in flexibility, there is novelty, right? And when I say that's like, novelty is new. And when we experience something new, we're just a little more excited. And the feeling of excitement is attractive when you go about life with that energy of like, something new is happening for me. Like, this is a vibe. I think that that's an attractive quality. I don't mean attractive like physically. I mean, it's magnetic. People will be drawn to an energy that's like that. And also opportunities come to people who just have that aura and energy. So be flexible. Don't be so stuck in your same routine every day. Do something a little different. Have a little fun, girl. You have free will. Remember that. You don't have to have a stick up your ass every day and do the same exact thing. Just like live a little. An example for that too is like, I have some single friends who love them. Attract the same kind of person when it comes to dating. And then I go, okay, so like, where are we finding these guys? Well, I met him at, club, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we keep finding the same kind of guy at the club at 2 a.m. and we're wondering why he's not Mr. Husband material. Baby girl, let's do some math here, because that's an easy fix to me. Why don't we switch it up and be a little flexible and a little more open to things happening in a different way? We might not find somebody who's ready to lock down a wife in the club, okay? But we might find him at pickleball, okay? We might find him at a networking event. We might find him at a brunch or something. You know what I'm saying? He's probably out there. He just ain't at the club at 2 a.m. because he got different priorities, and he should. So I'm just saying, girl, look at the pattern. The pattern will tell you everything. And then just to say this, to be a little more open, you gotta be a little less stressed. You need to be calm. Okay. If you're in a state of being stressed, you're closed off, you're defensive, you are on guard. You can't be open to anything because you're too busy being in survival mode. And I get it. It's really easy to be stuck in a state of fight or flight right now. But the more you can be aware of it, the more you can practice mindfulness. It's not that I'm not saying it's easy to relax, especially in the climate of the world we live in right now. But I am saying that when you feel that coming on, actively make yourself aware of it and put things in place to calm the fuck down. Okay? Practice meditation. Meditation does not have to look like you are a Buddha on a green hill watching the sunrise. It can look differently for you. For me, it's easier to meditate in the bath because I don't have my phone in my bath, but it's easier for me to just tap in those moments to kind of like check in with myself. It doesn't even have to be in silence. Turn on some music, figure out what your meditative state looks like, but that will help regulate your nervous system to pull you out of this state of constant, chronic, rigid stress and just like calm you down a bit. Because when you're calm and relaxed, you are open. And in those moments of openness, you can recognize when there are lucky things happening around you and receive them. Okay, because I promise you, you're not totally unlucky. It's just hard to recognize luck when you're too stressed to care about it or prioritize it, should I say. Okay. We can't talk about luck if we don't talk about self-worth, because self-worth is a magnet. Again, the way you perceive yourself is so, so important in life. It's going to be such a determining factor in so many areas of your life. Because if you think that you deserve something, you will find a way to get it. And if you don't, you will inevitably find a way to self-sabotage it, even if the opportunity does present itself. And these things don't happen on a surface level. These things are deeply ingrained in your subconscious and require a lot of work sometimes to remind yourself and to actively go against those thoughts and go against those patterns. You have to recognize when it's you and when sometimes, maybe something doesn't work out, but recognize when did you just fumble the opportunity that you wanted because of some, imposter issues or something? Just learn how to clock it. The more honest you can be with yourself, the sooner you can fix it. But if you're going to be in a state of denial and just say, good things don't happen to me and I'm unlucky, then that's the narrative you're going to live by, and you're not going to be able to make any change with that mindset. Go ahead and believe that good things want to come to you. It's just time that you're ready to receive them. Watch what happens. And here's the thing, people with a high self-worth move differently. They ask for the raise. They apply for the thing. They say yes to invites. And that self-worth puts them in proximity to luck. And when you have high self-worth, I think there's also a lot of high self-trust that you have. You trust that you will make the right decision. You're able to hear your intuition better and know what's for you and what's not for you. And in turn, when you can tap into your intuition and trust yourself a little more, you're able to let your intuition guide you towards what's lucky. So that was kind of a slippery slope in a way, but let's just kind of sum that up for you. Your self-worth connects you with your self-trust. Your self-trust is just another word for your intuition. And when you can really tap into your intuition, you can follow the best case scenario, aka the lucky path. And here's the thing, you cannot receive what you don't feel safe having. So this again boils down to self-worth. Let's just say you wanted $1 million, but you don't know how to manage money. You don't know anybody that's maintained $1 million. There's a reason, and I always use this as an example because so many people who win the lottery go bankrupt after like 3 to 5 years after winning millions of dollars, because it's not about having the wealth. It's about having the self-worth that you deserve it and that you can keep it and that you can maintain the good thing. Apply that to any area of your life. If you don't feel as if you deserve the thing, you will find a way to self-sabotage it. I promise you. You will find a way to prove yourself right and you won't even realize you're doing it. It's so sneaky, but it's true. Work on your self-worth and watch how your entire world changes around you. And remember this, low self-worth blocks flow. Oftentimes, being in flow is just another word for being lucky, right? So again, if you have low self-worth, you're going to see yourself obsessing over things, micromanaging things because there's no trust there. You settle for things. You overthink. When you're doing all of those things, it makes it really hard for life to surprise you again because you are in a chronic state of fight or flight. You cannot receive in that state of having a stick up your ass. Let's just say that. Luck cannot flow when you are clenching your booty cheeks. Relax. Trust. You know when a drink is so good, it makes you rethink your entire fridge lineup? That was me. The moment I cracked open a Simply Pop. It's a prebiotic soda with a flavor explosion that has my whole fridge looking like a party. My favorite, the pineapple mango. It's giving, I just landed in Tulum and forgot I have bills to pay. Simply Pop is the new prebiotic soda made with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support gut health, with no added sugar and sweetened with monk fruit and juice. Plus, it's got zinc and vitamin C to support immune health. Basically, it's soda that actually showed up with a resume. You know I don't hype just anything up, but Simply Pop really is that girl. Simply Pop is for the juice people, the flavor lovers, the ones who want their soda to taste as good as their outfits look. Sip on the juicy side of life. Find out where you can try Simply Pop at cokeurl.com/simplypop. This episode is sponsored by ByHeart. Now listen, as a new mom, let me just say this. Choosing formula felt like trying to decode the freaking Da Vinci Code. Every label was a maze of fine print and marketing fluff. And I remember thinking, if this is going in my baby's body, why does it feel like a guessing game? That's why I'm obsessed with By Heart. They're doing things totally different, starting with actual breast milk science, like real clinical research, not just vibes. Their formula is made with organic grass-fed whole milk and a patented protein blend that gets as close to breast milk as science allows. My mom guilt is lowered. My baby is thriving. What really sold me was how intentional everything is. Clean ingredients, easy to digest, made right here in the US. It's like if formula went to therapy, healed its inner child, and came back even better. So if you're formula feeding, combo feeding, or just want to know your options actually support your baby's development, go check them out. Head to byheart.com. That's byheart.com and use code BCILY30 to save 30% off your first subscription order for a limited time. You can also find them at Target, Walmart, and all the big name stores. Because when it comes to your baby, you deserve peace of mind and they deserve By Heart. So let's talk about the postpartum closet crisis I'm going through right now. Do you know what I mean? 1 minute I'm in the hospital with mesh undies. The next I'm expected to dress like a functioning adult again. Nothing fits, nothing feels right, and suddenly my entire closet is giving, who was she? That's where Quince came in and saved my sanity. I wanted to feel like myself again, but like the grown, elevated version, not the still wearing pajama pants to Target version. Quince is giving just that. Their pieces are timeless, polished, and feel way more expensive than they are. Their 100% European linen tops start at just $30. I got the linen shorts in oat and a washable silk midi skirt that made me feel instantly pulled together without sacrificing comfort. And trust me, I need comfort and confidence right now. The best part is everything is literally half the price of similar brands because Quince cuts out the middleman and works directly with ethical factories using premium fabrics. So you get elevated staples without the markup or the guilt. So if you're in your postpartum era or just in your grown woman era, or just done buying clothes that fall apart after one wash, go to quince.com/BCILY for free shipping and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/BCILY. Free shipping, no pressure, just really good clothes that feel like you're getting your power and your style back. Let's do a fun little recap on how we can create practical shifts to be luckier. So one thing we're going to do, one thing I want you to do, one thing mama wants you to do, say yes to new experiences. A couple of reasons why. This is going to create some openness for you. This is going to break up your rigid, same routine that you're constantly doing and allow for some lucky surprises. Okay, this is going to create that flexibility for you. So just say yes to something new that maybe you would normally say no to. Another thing I want you to do, talk to more strangers. This can be such a positive domino effect for you because one, when you're talking to strangers, first of all, and I'm not saying this in a transactional, like use people way, because I also think you should try to make genuine connections with people so that you can also put them in front of lucky things. But you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who people know. You never know what opportunities are in proximity of people that you become connected with. That's why people have things like networking events. That's why people do social things, because community is important and building a network is essential to building success and having lucky things happen for you. It's really hard to do it on your own, okay? So just be open to making new friends and making new connections, and also be open to helping other people. Another thing I want you to do is start keeping promises to yourself. Just start with some small ones. Start by making a promise to yourself of what you're going to eat in the morning or something you want to do each day just to make yourself feel better. But make it a promise and keep it. This is a part of building that self-worth, right? I was saying self-worth is a big piece of how you're going to be lucky. And so if you are able to start keeping promises with yourself, it drastically improves your self-worth because you're building that trust within yourself. Again, this correlates with helping you sharpen your intuition. And it's just as small as starting with keeping promises to yourself. If you cannot trust yourself, you cannot trust anybody in this world. You are all you have at the end of the day. And I don't say that to be scary, but I'm just saying you got to have your back. You have to be your biggest fan first and apply that love to yourself and say, I'm not sleeping on myself. Okay. Just make a small promise to yourself and keep it and continue to add on from there. Something else you can do something differently. Like we said, create that flexibility, change your path. You will run into different people. You will run into different opportunities. If you go the same way to work every day, hard for any surprises to hit you. The bottom line with all of these is you want to find ways that the universe can surprise you. That's how it's going to happen. And then this one is my favorite one personally, but just assume that the best case scenario is going to happen to you. I want you to say it to yourself as if you know it for a fact. Hell, text yourself so that you can see the message. Okay, I'm going to use this example. AJ's birthday is coming up and we're celebrating all weekend. So something I like to do when I know I got him like a good gift and stuff like that, I'm always like, I got you a really good gift. Yeah, I'm really excited to show you. It's really good. So like literally do that with yourself. Be like, yeah, the universe got me something really good today. I'm excited to find out. Just like have fun. You know what I'm saying? Life, it is what it is. Make it a little fun. Okay. Tease yourself a little bit. And I promise you, when you have that expectant attitude, you will run into good things. And it's not that maybe they weren't there before. It's just now you have eyes for it. So look for the good things and the good things will show up. All right. Let's finish off with a little Loki or Loco. I told you guys this is another new segment we're doing in addition to unfriendly reminders, but this is where you guys can submit something and I will tell you if you being crazy or if it's okay. It's okay. So today's Loki or Loco says, I have my family blocked from viewing my stories because they're too nosy and they police every move I make. Even though I pay my own bills and I'm grown. I like whoever wrote this. I do feel kind of bad though. Is it Loki or Loco? Blocking family members, is that crazy or not? I'm going to say no, it's not crazy. I think you're just protecting your peace, mama. I do. I think that you know your family better than anybody. And if they're up in your business and you're a grown woman paying your own bills, your bills are paid, who am I to tell you that's crazy? Okay. That is exhausting when people are on your heels. Like, what are you doing? Why are you out? Why are you spending money on that? I don't know what they're doing, but if you've made the decision to hide your story from them, I'm sure they have pushed you to that limit and that is your right. It's a feature for a reason. Okay. The only thing you have to look out for is if they hear something from somebody else, like, oh, I saw on so-and-so's story this. So just make sure you clear that up or just tell them you got them hidden, or don't actually, because then they'll probably find a way to like ask other people what you're doing. No, it's not crazy. Do what you got to do. You're grown and you deserve to have an online experience that you want. Okay. I told you social media today is it's bonkers. It's weird. It's stressful, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. But I don't think it's weird. No, it's low key. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope this video helps you move a little luckier. I'd love to hear things in the comments that you do to become a little bit luckier in your day-to-day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week.